Morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the State Court of Clayton County. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is courtroom 304. This is our jail and arraignment calendar. I'm going to call the calendar. I think we only have jail cases today. This is the 10 a.m. calendar of March 24, 2026. First name on the calendar is Jameer Alonzo. Jameer Alonzo. I can't hear anything y'all are saying. Red mic.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I didn't hear what case was called.
Alonzo.
Judge, that's a negotiated plea.
Okay. And Vincent Lamar Arnold.
Judge, that is a conflict attorney. Mr. Mosby is representing that individual.
Is Mr. Mosby present, or have we heard anything from him?
He's not present in the courtroom. I'm not aware of anything else.
Okay. Derek Raymond Epps, that case is closed. Petition, Mr. Austin.
That's correct, Your Honor. We're ready to move forward on that, I believe.
Okay. Mr. Lynch.
Judge, we will need an appointment order, but that's going to be a stipulation with the explanation.
All right. Send me the order.
Thank you, Judge.
Next is Teresa Shandell Huff. This is also a petition.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to need to conference with my client.
All right. What I think I heard was that you're going to need a conference with Ms. Huff because the females aren't up yet.
Judge, I think she is up, and so I think, but I just dealt with the male, so I think we'll get that resolved pretty quickly.
All right, no problem. Reginald Antonio Johnson.
Your Honor, this is an MH matter. I guess I could provide you an update in a breakout.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson has three cases. Ooh. And he can we send him back, Miss Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor. I already spoke with him.
Have I already signed the order?
We're not doing a 45-day, Your Honor. We're trying to see if we can get him into a inpatient facility. And I tried to contact one, Your Honor. He's homeless, so he won't be able to pay for one. So I'm trying to figure that out. Also trying to reach out to any family member of his that could possibly help.
Okay. I don't know if there are resources at Grady, but if you could reach one of their social workers, they might be able to help you with some direction, if nothing else.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson can go back. Ogeries McGee. This is a petition.
Judge, we're going to stipulate in this matter.
Okay. Thomas McGrath.
Judge, that's going to be a not guilty plea for today.
All right. Kenneth Kushi Pack.
That is going to be a negotiated plea.
All right. And Pack has two cases. The second case?
It's going to be, yes, he's going to resolve both cases through pleas.
Okay. All right. Tell me where we want to start.
If you wanted to go ahead and do Mr. McGee and then Mr. Epps, and then go through the rest of the pleas, that
works. All right, Mr. McGee first.
Let them run down the court and mean to bring all your stuff.
Yes. Let me know if they need anything else. Good morning, Mr. McGee.
Good morning.
All right, 1 second. Raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court for a petition for revocation of probation. This is case 2025 CR 09383. Your one second. Mr. McGee, you were before this court for battery family violence on the 21st day of October 2025. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation, and you have 6 months and 5 days remaining. The probation office alleges that there was a violation of criminal law because you committed the new offense of battery, family violence, terroristic threats, and acts, false imprisonment on March 16, 2026. You failure to avoid contact with the victim, Olan McGee, on March 16, 2026. You failed to provide documentation for proof of completing an anger management course. You failed to document proof of completing a moral recognition training course, and you failed to pay your $300 in arrears. Mr. Lynch is representing you. Mr. Lynch,
Yes, Judge. So I just wanted, so as far as the new violation of the law, Judge, he's stipulating that he was arrested for an offense. He's not stipulating that he did in fact commit the offense, as he has a pending criminal case for that matter. As far as contact with the victim, the named victim in the pending matter is the victim on the original case. However, although again, he's stipulating that there was an arrest, he does not stipulate that he intentionally had contact with that individual, Judge.
so he accidentally ended up next to him?
Well, this is a family member. My understanding is that this happened not at that particular family member's house, but the house of another family member. Judge, but I'm not trying to get into
I got you.
the facts too much. We are stipulating that he was arrested and that the named victim was the alleged victim in that pending case.
All right, Ms. Chang,
Morning,
recommendation?
Your Honor.
Good morning.
Probation recommends that 120 days be revoked, credit for time served, and after the service of 120 days, close the case.
All right.
Your Honor, I would just ask that you consider only revoking 90 days.
Yeah, no. The same stuff I told him not to do, and the reason he was here before appears to have happened again. And while I understand that he is not guilty, because he has a right of to be presumed innocent of the offense, he was arrested, which is a violation of probation. He was arrested in the presence of the other person, and it's alleged that he had violation that was inconsistent with the sentence that I previously had him on and his probation requirements. So yeah, no, 120 days seems right.
I understand the court's decision. Just ask that he be given credit for the time he's already served since.
Yeah, I'll give him credit since lockup.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so defendant shall have 120 days revoked with credit since lockup. After the service of 120 days, defendant shall have no contact with Olan McGee. I'm sorry, after the 120 days, defendant's case shall be suspended and defendant shall have no contact with Olan McGee.
Understood, Judge.
All right. All right, I'm sending it over.
Say what? What? 120 days is 3 months, or it's 4 months, I'm sorry. But minus the time you've already tried. So that'd be June. Hang on.
All right, so, Mr. McGee, you can go back with the sheriff's office, okay? All right, next is Epps, isn't that correct?
Yes, Judge, we're ready to go forward with Epps.
Ms. Val, if you could, reach out to Mr. Mosby regarding the conflict case, so we'll know what to do with his client.
Yes, I'm checking on that now, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, this is Mr. Epps. Mr. Epps, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you can put your hand out. Mr. Epps, you were before the court on State of Georgia versus Derek Raymond Epps, 2022 CR 01919. You were before this court and entered a plea for DUI, alcohol less safe, driving on a suspended or revoked license and a red light or traffic control device violation on the 7th day of June in 2022. You were sentenced to 24 months on probation. You have 5 months and 11 days remaining on probation. Your sentence was told, and this is your third hearing. You failed to report on June 19th, July 14th, August 23rd, September 18th, and October 24th of 2023. You failed to appear for a scheduled revocation hearing on December 11th of 2023. You failed to complete community service. You were ordered to do 240 hours. You documented 75 hours. You failed to complete treatment. Your treatment was recommended after an evaluation. You were required to do 17 sessions. You've documented 0. You failed to pay. You are currently $3,141.03 in arrears. Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge. So my understanding is, yes, there has been failure to report since 2023, Judge. Part of that explanation is that I believe he has some issues with seizures. He had a period of hospitalization. He has struggled with having the resources, but we're not trying to make an excuse for that, Judge. As far as the community service, my understanding is that he has completed more than 75 hours of the 240 hours and that more has been documented. But I think Mr. Austin can speak to that. He at least maintains that he has, I believe, completed the community service. I cannot speak to exactly what has been documented, but I'm sure Mr. Austin can address that. He also does, and I'm going to let him speak to this as well. The treatment, I believe there was some treatment completed as well. Of course, I don't have all the documentation of that, Judge, but that's where we are with Mr. Epps.
Mr. Epps, Anytime you have a medical condition and you don't share that with your probation officer, there's really nothing we can do because we don't know where you are or what's going on in your life. If you have a medical condition and you can't at least share with us that you have an established medical condition that is keeping you from completing the special conditions of probation, what do we know? We know that you're not showing up. We know that you are not doing what's required. We know that you're not showing proof of having completed any of the things. Listen, probation is special because the jail is chaotic right now, but if I needed to put you in jail when you got sentenced, I could have put you in jail. But probation allows you to be out on the outside living while you're also being responsible to the court. But if you're not going to take what the privilege is of probation, being responsible to the court, then all day, every day, I can put you in jail. But if you have a medical condition that now you're using to excuse your lack of participation in probation, but you've never told us up to this point, or you've never provided proof from a provider, no doctor has given you a letter saying, hey, this is what it is, he's restricted. You don't even have to tell us what the condition is, but they can tell us that you have a restriction from certain types of activity, and we'll work around that. But 3 years in, it's 2026. This is from 2023, 2022 case. 2023, you stopped showing up. And now I'm supposed to say, oh, poor baby. Now I'm compassionate, but to a point. My compassion will meet you where you are. If you didn't come and do what you were supposed to do, then my compassion is going to sit right where it is. Did you have something you needed to say to me, Mr. Epps?
Yes, ma'am.
Red mic.
Yes, ma'am. I actually told Mr. Austin this, like, I started having seizures in 2019. Before Mr. Austin, I had another officer at his office area, and so Mr. Austin took over, and I told her, and I brought plenty of paperwork, doctor notes, everything from SSI that I'm trying to go through right now to get a disability check now. I have showed several things. I didn't have like people call for me and showing different paperwork that I've been hospitalized in Fayetteville and Upper Riverdale Road, Southern Regional, Grady. I've been in several hospitals that I have showed them. That would be 9-10 days I'm in the hospital, But if he say that he never got anything, I don't know what to say about that.
Do you have stable housing?
I live with my girlfriend.
I can't even comment on whether that's stable or not. I don't know your girlfriend, but Mr. Austin.
Yes, Sean, I did. So I took over this case from Ms. Chain. He did stress that he had some things going on, but he was maintaining and doing everything he needed to do, and then he just kind of disappeared and he never came back until now. The recommendation, he has completed some things that he needed to do, but the recommendation was 60 days to serve, credit since March 8th, and then this case will be closed out.
Mr. Lynch.
Judge, I'd ask the court to consider 45 days.
Why? Like, tell me, does he have job prospects? Tell me why. Because he spent years not coming in and doing what he needed to do. Now, I get you had a medical condition, but just have somebody fax us something. Have somebody send us something. Oh, hey, I'm in jail right now. Can you fax this to my probation officer? That's important.
And Judge, he did discuss with me the fact that he does have a job and that he has children to support. I guess that's kind of where we're coming down on making that request.
How many children?
In total, I have 5.
You what?
In total, I have 5.
In total, or you've been told?
In total.
Mr. Epps, you're not planning on having any more children right now, are you?
No. I'm good.
Because that's a lot of children to support. and they are expensive. I have a few. Mr. Epps, so this is what I say. You need to get your life under control because you've got to start taking medicine consistently that will help address your seizure condition. And then you've got to get jobs, things you can do to support 5 kids because the mother or mothers of your children have been carrying the major burden while you've been kind of living your life and doing what you need to do for you. And I get, well, I'm doing, I do for my kids, but sir, with this history and with the in and out and the I'm over here, I'm over there, there's no consistency. And you got 5 kids that need things. The mother or mothers of those children are buying clothes every other week. They're feeding them. They're, like what you got on that, sir?
I totally understand. I agree with you. And that's why I'm trying to be there. I mean, it's not easy or anything. Like I can't drive or anything like that because I have episodes all the time. So I'm not supposed to be by myself or I can't be over 3 feet high. And I have a lot of limitations. But hey, I'm trying. I'm doing the best I have. I haven't got in trouble in years or anything like that. And so you can see that I'm trying to do the best I can do, you know.
Okay. Do what you got to do to make sure your kids are taken care of. If that's getting your SSI, if that's making sure that you spend more time with them, because if you don't have money, then time is what you need. You spend time with them anyway, but you need to be spending time with them. If the mom or mothers need, if they're working and you need to spend time with your kids, then you need to be that extra resource that she can count on. You gotta contribute. We don't get to just put babies out in this world and then not be there for them. And so you got to be there in whatever way you can absolutely be there. You got to teach them to recognize the signs of when you're having a crisis, what to do in a crisis, who to call, and then teach them how to help you care for them. If you can be with them, but if you're having a crisis and they know, hey, I need to call this person or I need to dial 911 or this is what it looks like when dad's having a crisis, then you can spend meaningful time with them and y'all can have a meaningful relationship in recognition of the fact that you have a condition. But you got to be there for them. You do. You can't just, you got to be, you got 5 kids that you put in this world. All right. So 45 days with credit since March 8th, 2026.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Alonzo?
Who's next? I'm sending this over, Mr. Austin.
Mr. Alonzo.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, sir. You're before the court, State of Georgia versus Jameer Alonzo, 2026 CR 03825. Mr. Alonzo, raise your right hand for me as much as you can. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Sir, you're before the court for criminal trespass. You're represented by Attorney Owen Lynch with the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
No contest, Judge.
All right, by internal plea of nolo, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. On February 27th, 2026, officers with the Atlanta Police Department were doing a safety walkthrough of the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. They encountered one Jameer Alonzo, who had entered the airport through the MARTA transit train. He had previously been given a criminal trespass warning on January the 11th of 2026 not to return to the airport. He was arrested for the same. This all occurred here in Clayton County. State's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 20 days. Credit for time served. Balance is suspended upon him not returning to the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport without official business.
Mr.
Yeah.
Rich?
We do ask the court to accept that, Judge. I have had a discussion with my client about the posture of the airport.
You sure don't want to go now? Mr. Alonzo, sir, I would suggest you stay away from the airport, and I would order that you stay away from the airport for various reasons, sir. So I'll sentence you on this NOLO to 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended as long as you do not go back to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport during the pendency of your sentence, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Pack.
Who's next?
If we could do Mr. Pack, Judge.
Sure.
Hold on 1 second.
Raise your right hand for me, sir. Oh, sorry.
We're ready to proceed, Judge. I do apologize.
Mr. Pack, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're before the court on case 2026CR01216 for criminal trespass. You're represented by Attorney Owen Lynch with the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense of criminal trespass?
He'll plead guilty, Judge.
All right, by internal plea of guilty, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis and recommendation.
Yes, ma'am. Case number 2026 CR 01216. On January 1st, 2026, officers with the Atlanta Police Department were doing were flagged down at 6000 North Terminal Parkway at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport regarding a well-known criminal trespasser. Officers made contact with that person, identified the person, Mr. Kim Pack. He was previously advised not to return to the airport with criminal trespass warning in March of 2025. He was arrested for the same. On case number 2026 CR 03833. On Sunday, March 1st, 2026, officers with the MARTA Police Department observed a black male who they identified as the defendant, Mr. Pack, pushed through the fare gate without paying for his fare at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Officers were able to make contact with him and did find that he had been previously issued a criminal trespass warning. Additionally, they issued a suspension for his ability to ride MARTA from August the 15th of 2025 through August the 16th of 2025, and they issued a permanent ban from MARTA on effective September 15th, 2026. Both incidents occurred in Clayton County. To both cases to run concurrent is 12 months to serve, 45 days. The balance is suspended upon him not returning to the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport and the MARTA station located at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
All right. I'm sorry, I neglected to mention the case 2026 CR 03833 with criminal trespass and public transit violation. So those are both guilties also, Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge. He does
All
enter
right.
pleas of guilty to both counts on that offense.
All right, in these cases, case 2026 CR 03833 and case 2026 CR 01216 will run concurrent and will have the same sentence. That sentence will be 12 months to serve 45 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as Mr. Pack does not go back to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, and as long as he observes the MARTA ban that keeps him from riding MARTA. He has been permanently banned from MARTA, and he has to stay away from the airport for the remainder of the 12 months of the sentence.
Well, listen, what did we talk about? Yes, sir. So let's do state you in concurrent time. Yes. Yes.
That's next.
I got time served, right? You got credit for the time you served. The total sentence is 45 days. So however share calculation.
All right, so Mr. Mosby was going to log on for Mr. Arnold.
He's on, Judge. It appears that the firm is on.
We're still waiting on Huff is the last conference. And Mr. Mosby. So Mr. Mosby, my understanding is this your conflict counsel or you were hired for this case? I'm not sure.
I am conflict counsel, Judge, and I was appointed back in September, entered our appearance, and then asked for some discovery and hadn't had a chance to speak with the solicitor's office, but I hadn't received any of that. So unfortunately, procedurally, and I don't like to say this, I don't know where we are. I'm not sure.
That's fine. We've changed solicitors a lot. I've had a few. recently. So, and I don't think we had, I don't know if we had contact with Mr. Arnold. He's in an active inmate status at this time. And, this is a 2023 case, which suggests there's either something else going on or this was from a bench warrant.
And Judge,
Mr.
that's what was confusing. I thought that he had been released, and I thought originally he had a bond forfeiture and had been released, so I was confused. So I haven't even had a chance to speak with him.
Okay. Mr. Brooks?
It looked like his original arraignment date was September of 2025. It was a bench warrant bond forfeiture at that time.
Okay.
But the state's recommendation is a co-defendant matter. The counts that relate to Mr.
Arnold?
Arnold is count 7 and 8. State's recommendation to count 7 was to null process, obstructing or hindering law enforcement officer, and to count 8, simple variant as 12 months to serve, 25 days, credit for time served to balance is suspended upon him not having contact with the victim of the accusation, as Ms. Brianna Daniels, and he's additionally to have no new violations of Georgia law.
Mr. Mosby, we can bring him into the courtroom and I can put you in a breakout room with the courtroom. The only other people in there are the other lawyers and the deputy.
Okay, that's fine, Judge.
All right. So if we can bring Mr. Arnold up so he can speak with his attorney, Mr. Mosby, I'm going to put the courtroom in a breakout room. And Mr. Mosby, when you're finished, then y'all can just come back out of the breakout room.
I sure will, Judge. Thank you.
Let me just perfect the record as well. It appears
Yes,
that he served 25 days, initially from August the 3rd through August the 28th of 2019.
All right. So it would be essentially credit for time served?
Yes, ma'am. And the balance then suspended upon no contact with Brianna Daniel.
Okay.
Thank you for
All
that,
right.
Mr. Brooks. Appreciate it.
Mr. Mosby, I'm going to go ahead and put y'all in the breakout room, okay?
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Deputy Castro, you can go on into the breakout room for me. Thank you.
The courtroom having a hard time getting in here?
It's frozen.
Oh, okay, she may be in.
Judge Hayward, if you're there, may I make an announcement? And Mr. Brooks as well.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'm pretty sure that my client wants to accept this offer. However, I was concerned about no new violations because he's in for something else that has occurred since this happened.
Oh, that's not an issue. It's
Okay.
already, whatever that is, it's already
Yeah,
occurred.
and I want to be sure that that's right, but yeah, so
Yeah.
we want to go ahead and accept the state's offer, Judge.
Okay. 1 second. Mr. Arnold, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Vincent Lamar Arnold, 2023 CR 01176. For this is a co-defendant case, and this your count is count 7, obstruction of a law enforcement officer. That case, that offense will be no pros per the state and your attorney's agreement, and then simple battery on count 8. Mr. Mosby is representing you, Mr. Ricardo Mosby. Mr. Mosby, what does your client plead to the offense on count 8?
He's going to plead guilty to that count, Judge.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Arnold?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, you might be muted.
Forgive me. On May 7, 2022, officers with the Clayton County Police Department responded to incident location here in Clayton County regarding the disturbance. They made contact with Ms. Brianna Daniels, who advised that the defendant, Mr. Arnold, did pull and grab her out of a vehicle during a verbal disagreement. When officers attempted to make contact with Mr. Arnold, he did flee as officers gave verbal commands for him to stop. This all occurred here in Clayton County. State's recommendation, as referenced before, it's 12 months to serve, 25 days credit for time served, balance suspended upon no contact with Brianna Daniel, and no new violations of Georgia law. To count 8, count 7 being authorized.
All right, Mr. Arnold, who is Brianna Daniel to you?
He was on what I was dealing with at the time.
We're not dealing with her anymore, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, because that would be a violation of the court order. So, sir, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to count 8. Count 7 will be no pros. I'll send you to 12 months to serve 25 days credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia and that you have no contact with Brianna Daniel. Mr. Arnold, how old are you, sir?
I'm 39.
Mr. Arnold, orange is not your color. Get your life together.
Hey, ma'am.
Start making some sensible choices. You know, everybody thinks that, everybody wants to make a come up, hit a lick, do all of these things y'all young people talk about. But really, get yourself a good job, sir, and sit down somewhere.
Yeah, ma'am.
You have kids?
Yeah, ma'am.
How many?
4.
Mr. Arnold, you ain't got time for no orange jumpsuit. You got 4 kids in this world that need you. And the longer you spend in an orange jumpsuit, the more they are vulnerable to everything that's happening in this world. Their mamas are trying to keep it all together while you get to spend time with 3 hots and a cot.
Oh.
Sir, get your life together. Get your life together and start being an active, productive member in your children's lives. They don't need to see you behind bars. They don't need to know that every time they looking for you to be somewhere that they need you to be, you somewhere doing something crazy and you being where you want to be. You grown, you've lived your adult life, you've had your fun. Now be a dad, not a baby daddy, a dad. Be there for their activities, be there for when they're sick, be there for when their mom can't get to work because they got some kind of conflict and thing. Be there. What is the purpose of having 4 kids if you're not going to be there for them? You got me?
Yeah, ma'am.
Let's stop putting babies out in this world and then just leaving them or letting the mamas do whatever they have to do. Be a dad. Don't be a baby daddy. Get you a good job somewhere and sit down. You hear me?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Judge, that's actually all I have. Thank you. I apologize for the schedule.
No, that's
confusion.
okay, Mr. Mosby. I know that we had like lost contact to him, so I know you probably didn't get the notice as quickly. So thank you
appreciate you
for
all.
being able to come on and get this resolved.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a good day.
You too, sir.
And Your Honor, I do have an announcement on Huff. She's being brought out. This will be, we're stipulating and accepting the recommendation of probation.
All right, thank you. All right, and I think Huff is our last one. Y'all might get a little breather before we start trial.
Judge, I thought that we had someone coming on today on Zoom from the trial calendar.
We
Done?
were, Miss Tortorella, what happened to Dunn?
Your Honor, when I agreed to the reset time yesterday in court, I was not aware that Miss Dunn had chemo at 10 o'clock in the morning today. So chemotherapy is keeping her from attending court today. She advised that she would try to attend court, but
Is she in Georgia?
She's in New York, Your Honor. So I did tell her to send me proof, doctor's note or something that we could send to the court, and apologize for wasting court's time.
All right. All right, so the bench warrant will be entered because she didn't show up for yesterday. This was her show up day. She didn't show up today, so.
I think a bench warrant had already been issued, Your Honor.
I think so. So that will stand. Ms. Huff, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Huff, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Teresa Shandell Huff, 2022 CR 06290. You were before this court for the offense of driving under the influence on the 7th day of October 2025. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation, and you have 6 months and 5 days remaining. You failed to avoid injurious and vicious habits. You tested positive for the metabolites of alcohol on February 26th of 2026. You failed to attend support group meetings, one community support group meeting per a week as directed, and provide proof of that to your probation officer. You have failed to document completing a DUI alcohol or drug use risk reduction program. You failed to complete community service. You were ordered to do 40 hours. You have 30 hours remaining. And you failed to pay as instructed. So, Ms. Huff, you are represented by Attorney Tortorella from the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis. Can you tell me what's going on that you can't get anything done and you're testing positive?
Your Honor, if I may, on behalf of my client, my client concedes to the first one, the first positive. However, the second positive she denies. She just wants to explain to the court that she actually used mouthwash that morning.
No, ma'am. Well, I'm not doing mouthwash, vodka pasta. I'm not doing NyQuil, Listerine. I'm not doing that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because
Okay.
unless you drinking mouthwash in vast quantities, I've been doing this too long, Ms. Huff. Please don't play me. And mouthwash is in your mouth. I don't know how it would get in your urine. Ms. Huff, hold your head up. Don't play me.
Your Honor, moving on to this next issue that she wants to address is the support group. She only missed one, and it was due to a miscarriage she recently had. She was in a lot of pain and she could not, and she's currently actually in a lot of pain, Your Honor. I did witness her walking. She is walking very slow and cautiously because she just had a miscarriage. As far as the risk reduction, Your Honor, the day she got arrested, she was actually at DDS reinstated her license. She got a call from Probation Officer Chang that day to report, and she was actually, that day at DDS, she was actually going to take care of the risk reduction course as well. And she did pay off what she owed last Friday, to my understanding. And she wants to address community service, Your Honor.
And I actually did some of my community service. I actually only have about 14 or 15 hours left.
Ms. Huff, you understand that none of this counts unless we see proof of it.
I have proof of it.
But you're not giving it to your probation officer. I don't need to see proof of it. Ms. Chang Ms. Chang needs to see proof of it. Why doesn't she have it?
Well, because I was told not to bring in the sheet until I was done with the community service.
What about the community support meetings?
I just got put on those for the first violation, and that was around the time that I ended up suffering my miscarriage and was on bed rest because I couldn't move. She just assigned me to those meetings.
Ms. Huff, are you working?
I braid hair. I stay at home now because I have a disabled child.
Ms. Huff, are you in a position to have another baby? And I know this sounds harsh, and I don't care if people judge me, but here's the thing. We keep bringing babies into this world that we cannot take care of, or we're not taking care of well. Condoms are cheaper than child support or child care. Are you in any position to have another baby?
No, ma'am, and it was definitely not intentional. So,
well, yeah, it is intentional because we're grown. And so all of us know how to prevent a pregnancy. Since the 70s, we've known about birth control and methods of prevention. And so when you say it was an accident, it wasn't.
You're absolutely right, but
I know.
I don't mean to sound
I need you to
harsh
stop playing
either,
it.
but
You came in here talking about mouthwash. Ma'am, please. I've been on this bench for 10 years. I wasn't dumb when I got on this bench. So when you say stuff like that, it makes me doubt whether you are taking this seriously. Because if you think any judge anywhere, but in the state of Georgia, is going to take that foolishness and go, oh, yeah, okay, mouthwash. Yeah, baby, please. What I need you to do is start thinking about making good choices, because you're not right now making good choices. You have an alcohol problem. You have been here before me. This is what hearing you've had a previous hearing, because I had to add the community support meeting, unless that was from the beginning and you just haven't been doing it since October. You told me I added it later. So I don't know what hearing this is for you, but I'm telling you, Ms. Huff, get your life together. If you home and braiding hair and you have a child who's disabled, if you're spending time in jail because you're not doing what I tell you to do, who's taking care of your child that's disabled right now? Who?
Oh, my friend have him.
Your friend. Ms. Huff, get it together. First of all, you are in no position to have another baby. Now, I'm going to just be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up honest. You are in no position to have another baby. And I'm grown and you grown, and I'm not going to tell you that you don't have the right to seek pleasure where you can find it. But condoms are cheaper than child support or child care. There are methods of birth control that you could use where you're not putting another baby in a desperate situation, because you don't have yourself together. You're in a green jumpsuit right here in front of me, and this ain't your first time. Get it together. You need to get your life together. Most of the time when people have issues, it's because of lack of intention. We don't make good decisions. And you allowing somebody to just take their pleasure with you, but leave you with a baby. Did that person come and help you at any point during this miscarriage?
Yes,
They were there for you.
yes,
Okay, well then that person should be smart enough to know if they care for you like that, that you're not in a position to be a mom again right now. We clear?
yes,
Y'all should be able to talk about stuff like that. Hey, listen, I got to get myself together. I have a disabled child. I got to get focused on making sure I'm doing the best for myself and that child. And so right now, it's not a good time for us to have a baby. We need to use something. We clear?
yes.
Okay. All right. So, what's the recommendation, Ms. Chang?
Your Honor, probation recommends that 6 days be revoked, credit for time served, return to probation. She's to either get another evaluation or go back to Dr. Culver, who completed her first evaluation, and disclose her positive alcohol test, and complete that evaluation by March 31st. And just to make the court aware, on this last drug test, the ethyl glucuronide tested over 10,000 nanograms per milliliter. The cutoff was, it's 25 nanograms per milliliter.
Is she trying to pickle herself? That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yes, ma'am.
Miss Huff? Miss Huff, say these words with me. You ready?
Yes.
I'm an alcoholic.
Okay. I'm an alcoholic.
Let's say it again. Hello, my name is Teresa, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hello, my name is Teresa and I'm an alcoholic.
Ms. Huff, until you acknowledge that you have a problem, I see you shaking your head. So that's an unconscious movement that says, I'm saying this because the judge is telling me to say it, but I don't really believe it. But you are here before me. You were here for driving under the influence on October 7th. You're back here before me having tested positive with some really, really high numbers. And then you tried to play me with it was mouthwash. And ma'am, if mouthwash is in your urine, then you're doing it wrong. So let me just tell you, you're an alcoholic. And if you do not treat this situation such that you get your life together, your child is going to suffer for it and you're going to continue to suffer for it. You need to acknowledge that you're an alcoholic. It's just like any other medical condition. If you had hypertension, diabetes, you would go to a doctor and they would tell you, if you don't treat this, it will kill you. If you don't treat alcoholism, it will kill you. There's no shame in acknowledging it. The shame is in putting somebody's life at risk by driving under the influence. The shame is in leaving your child with a friend because you're in jail. That's the shame. We clear?
Yes, ma'am. And
Now, Ms. Chang is willing to have you back on probation. Mess up again, and that's not going to be an option. We clear?
yes,
There's plenty of room in the Clayton County Jail. And if you have not seen that the conditions are less than optimal, you know it. Is that a place you want to be?
no,
Then get back on track doing what I ordered you to do and start thinking of a way to turn your life around. You need to start a list of your intentions, what you want your life to look like in 3 years, what you want your child's life to look like in 3 years. You understand?
yes,
All right. And please don't ever tell somebody that you got mouthwash in your urine and tested positive. Don't do that. That's just some foolishness. All right. That makes you sound not bright. All right. So 6 days, credit for time served, return to probation. You'll go back to your doctor to get a new evaluation. You're going to disclose your positive test, and you'll do that by March 31st. You'll also continue with the special conditions of probation. And I do want you to get into the community support group. I don't care which one you choose, AA, NA, whatever, whoever's got a community support group running. I need you to get into it and get proof of having gone to that. Do you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So are you unclear in any way how I'm gonna react if you come back?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You can go back with the sheriff's
And-
office.
Your Honor, if I may give her appointment.
Oh, report date. Thank you.
Ms. Huff, if you'll report this Thursday, March 26th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Thank you.
This Thursday, 9 a.m.
I might. She said 11:30.
Do we have anything else?
I don't think so, Your Honor. I think that's everyone in the calendar.
All right. So I'll see you in the courtroom in about 15, 20 minutes. All right.
May I
Thank
be
you.
excused, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.